Well, you having a good old UTR time? I knew you'd have fun with us because that's what we do. Anyway, this last place that we're going to, you're going to love. We're going to go on a carriage ride through an enchanted forest, then see mighty Michigan elk in their natural habitat, and then go to a magic cottage and have a 5-course gourmet meal and wine tasting. I know, sounds kind of like a fairy tale, doesn't it?
Well, believe it or not, this fairy tale is true, because that's exactly what you can do at the Thunder Bay Resort in Hillman, Michigan. This is a full-service golf resort in one of the most beautiful parts of Upper Lower Michigan, and people come from far and wide for this incredible experience. Jack Mathias is the awesome owner who may not have invented elk, but he did come up with this amazing elk viewing dinner that in no time will make you feel like a Dickens character.
Well, Jack, as you know, we were here a few months ago. I think it was almost a year ago in the fall with Dave Lorenz.
Yes.
Did this experience. We're so enchanted by the whole thing that I remember saying to Jim that night, we have to come back here again. This whole thing is magical. It really is. But the resort, let's start with the resort. It's really a great golf resort, correct?
Correct. Basically, this was kind of desperation was the motivator, because on this side of the state we don't get the snow, we don't have the downhill skiing, and I need to keep my staff together. And we thought, what in the hell can we do in Hillman, Michigan to get people up here in the wintertime?
Yeah.
So the wild elk herd borders our area here, and that's really where the idea came from. I think we're totally unique east of the Rockies. I'm not aware of anybody else that's doing this. There are a couple of folks in the Rockies who take sleighs into the National Elk Preserve and then do some sort of food with it, but that's kind of where it started. Originally we did this with a wild herd, but because of the tuberculosis in the deer herd, we can no longer put out feed with the wild animals. So we had to create our own elk preserve, and it's a little better experience for the customers. That was like stepping back into the mid-1800s, no electricity within a mile, outhouses, that whole routine. But the new cabin is a little more modern, but we've retained that flavor as much as we can. We still cook all the food on the 2 antique wood cook stoves and do it in front of everybody. So,
Well, I said it earlier, it's like being in a fairy tale. It really, really is. Well, walk people through the experience, just so they have an idea what this is all about.
Okay. Well, let me first say there are a number of different appeals. For folks who like horses, these draft horses are just massive and magical. Carriage rides or sleigh rides obviously have their appeal. The elk are absolutely fascinating animals, and people will learn quite a bit about them. We have a guide on board each carriage or sleigh, as well as the teamster. And of course, the food goes back to my wife, Jan. It's 5 courses, it's gourmet quality. And we use one of the local wineries for wine tasting, so they can sample as many as 7 different wines during the dinner.
But the food, I mean, how do you get such wonderful gourmet food out here in this little cabin in the middle of the woods?
Well, there are trails, so we don't have to haul it in by horseback, but it's just kind of magical. That's all I can say. Jan was a fabulous cook and put the recipes together. My son Spencer is going to be preparing the food because we lost Jan a few years ago, but he's been very, very faithful to all the recipes, and I think you'll enjoy it.
Well, Dave Lorenz is going to be upset that we didn't bring him with us this time, because this really is, like you said, it's magical, this experience. I'm speechless, and I haven't even had dinner yet.
Well, I can tell you, sometimes it's a bit of a challenge for us to interest folks in coming here, but I think we basically get rave reviews. I guarantee any of your reviewers that come here, they will have a good time. We have a reputation. We're not very sophisticated, but we're friendly. So.
You're more sophisticated than my house, that's for sure. I should also say that we were here in the fall. Here we are, it's what is it, March 1 when we're filming this, March 3rd? In the middle of winter, there's tons of snow, and you're still doing it.
Absolutely. About the only time we don't do them is April. The bulls have lost their antlers, things are muddy, they haven't greened up yet, but from May through the end of March is our season. We draw motor coaches from about 20 surrounding states and Canada. That's a good part of our summer business, along with the golf, of course.
Yeah. And you're 30 minutes due west of Alpena.
Yep.
So yeah, wonderful experience. Sorry, Dave, we're doing it without you.
Well, since Jack painted such a beautiful picture of the overall experience, we decided to jump right into the painting. So we all boarded the horse-drawn carriages, settled in, and away we went. Seeing these enormous elk in their natural environment is an amazing experience. And the carriage ride through the woods, even in the winter, is breathtaking. And when you arrive at the cottage for the gourmet dinner, that's when the real magic starts to happen. The 5-course banquet was absolutely amazing, and the wine, divine. And the atmosphere they created in this little cottage is something right out of a storybook. So we wined and dined, had a great time, shared stories, and made new friends. It really was an evening we'll never forget. So if you're looking for some new things to do, winter, spring, summer, or fall, Michigan's Sunrise Side has all you need for an exceptional adventure.
Man, I am still stuffed from that dinner we had at Thunder Bay Resort last night. It was amazing. How about you? Did you get enough to... Oh my God, guess what we forgot?
Pure is what you make of it. It's taken it all in and never taken anything for granted. The sun sets, the moon rises, and you realize the end of one perfect summer day is the beginning of another. Pursue your pure in Pure, Michigan.
A visit to the Stahl's Auto Collection will take you back to a time when cars were more than just a way to get around. A fantastic assortment of gas pumps, neon signs, and automated music machines dating back 150 years that must be seen and heard. Info at stahlsauto.com.
Brought to you by Midland, Michigan, a Great Lakes Bay region community. Visit gogreat.com for more info.